A new track hit the schedule for the 2019 season as we arrive in Australia, but every season before this, we landed at Cordell Park, which is actually not too far from here, if I'm correct, but we are actually here at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit. A new track on the schedule that is expected to bring some interesting action as it's a road course in Australia this year. Hello, buddy, and welcome to round number 12 of 20 of the 2019 Sunoco Elite Series season, here for the very first time at Phillip Island. And oh boy, as we head through the 2019 season, it's just starting to become, can Duncan catch up to Paulson, and can Roush keep a hold, as so many other people are already falling behind, as the guys near the front of the field are just running away in points. But looking at your starting lineup today, it's two pole positions back to back for William Duncan, as Duncan is your pole sitter here at Phillip Island. Duncan said that he never really liked Cordell Park. He didn't have a good history there, but the moment we moved to a new track, here he is sitting on pole, two pole positions in a row. He's got a win this season back at Cordell. Duncan's looking good to try to make a challenge towards Cordell Paulson. We'll see if he can today. That's alongside Audra Baranowska's for Bavarian Thunder Racing. A team we did not expect to see on the front row, but Audra Baranowska's is a Royale champion back in 2014. She has road course experience, and we know that she can be fast. So I'm not incredibly surprised to see her up here, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her get a good result here today. On row 2, Daniel Bouchard in the 6. Bouchard currently looking around for a ride, as there's rumors that he could end up at FRT next season, with rumors of them hosting a privateer option, but all of that just speculation. Alongside the points leader, Cordell Paulson, who has been locked to the 83 next year, as another year in the 83 for your 2015 champion. And Paulson just trying to continue to lead the points, but with Duncan on pole, he's going to have to fight for it. On row 3, it is Aiden Shepard, the Super Speedway King, starting in 5th on a road course. He has a history of winning at a few road courses in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised if he fights for another one here today. That's alongside Shane Vincent, who, despite being a Speedway guy, has shown some pretty good speed at road courses in the past, and he's been in a bit of a slump lately. A few bad finishes, a few unlucky results, but he started P6 today. This could be his chance to bring it back. On row 4, Scott Roush, one of the big points contenders. Roush has been really fast this season, but as we mentioned in the past, the back half of the year is usually where he falls apart. He hasn't yet. He is still going strong, and he may still go strong starting P7. And that's alongside another points contender, Paul Jackson. Jackson's a little bit further off than the rest of them, though. He's got a bit to go if he wants to get himself into that title chase. He's got to get moving now. And on row 5, William Brock. Multi-time winner, but no wins yet this season for the driver of the 01. It's been a really bad season for Brock compared to his previous seasons, and especially last season, which almost ended in his first title, as Brock just trying to get a good finish today to get himself near the top 10 points. That's alongside the guy who beat him last season in points, being the reigning champion Roman Rahal, still looking for his first win of the year. He did get a win in Australia last year, but that was at Cordell Park. Now we're here at Phillip Island. He's starting in the top 10. Could he win at Australia again? But the cars are getting set up, ready to go. Tyler Thaber at the rear of the field, due to failing tech inspection after qualifying. But we also had some surprising guys in near the front of the field. We got Carson Bowers in the 3 in 17th. Ryan Griffin is in 20th. A few guys up here who could have a chance to get a good result for their team. Jay Durrell, winner at Cordell Park a few years back. It's his only career win, and he could be trying to go for another one. He's P11. So we'll see if we can get a guy who's going to surprise us near the front of the field. But that'll all take place in just a moment, as we are about to go green here at Cordell Park. Here at Phillip Island. And it'll be William Duncan leading it down to the green flag here at the Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit in Melbourne, Australia. Green flag is in the air. Duncan and Baranowska's pretty even starts from both lanes, but I believe Duncan has the advantage. As we head through 2, Baranowska's will not get the spot. It's Willie D leading. Here at Phillip Island, Bouchard and Baranowska's fight for second, while Shepard tries to find someone to push behind. Small wreck behind. Nothing too big. Seems to just be Halleck and Van Aller have spun. Doesn't seem to have much damage. As we head into the carousel. Oh, Baranowska's gets second. Bouchard now in third. Paulson and Shepard fight for the 4th position, but no. Paulson shuts the door on Shepard. And through, look at Jay Durrell. Great start out of the driver of the 43. He's challenging Paul Jackson. That was your 8th place driver. Brock was your 9th place driver. He's ahead as well. Few people got off to good starts. Brock, this is a start that he especially needed. We come down to take the end of lap 1. As Duncan has company. As Audra Baranowska is right behind to come up finish lap 1. Get your leaderboard up. Fastest lap on the first lap. Let's see who it is. It's Audra. Paulson dives down the inside of Daniel Bouchard. Tries to push him wide, trying to shut the door here. Into, can he get there? No, Bouchard will hold on. The battle continues. Bouchard gets the spot back. Shepard will launch down the inside and take the spot from Paulson. Great move out of Shepard. Took advantage of a situation to take a position. Easy. So what happened to Aller, Halleck, and I saw that Lamas also was taken to the pits. So when you go 4 wide at a road course, you really can't expect much else to happen, as Aller and Ard would connect together, go into Takayama, and send the 48 around. This would just cause commotion throughout the pack. The 74 and the 06 would go along with them. Nobody really that damaged to be out of the race, but Lamas would have to come down pit road to get some damage repairs. Bad luck for the 3 of them. As we return back racing, Duncan, your leader over Audra Baranowska's. On lap 2, Baranowska's not letting him out of her sight. So we're into the hairpin, the second hairpin for the second time. Baranowska's gives a little peek. She's looking. This is probably the strongest we've seen Baranowska's since the Royale back in 2014. It's been about 5 years since we've seen her up to this pace, as she is right on the rear of the 4 down the front straight. This would be a perfect time to jump. This is probably the best passing spot on the track if you can launch. Baranowska's peak, she thought about it, but she won't yet. She sticks it behind the 4. She's waiting for a mistake, a chance to strike. And it's now. Here she comes. Baranowska's down the inside, the Lithuanian. A mistake out of Duncan, and Audra's got the lead. Great job out of the Lithuanian driver, the 2014 Royale champion, and Audra Baranowska's is your new leader here at Phillip Island. Seems to be another incident that took place, because I see, Durrell's off in the grass. That was your 9th place driver. That's unfortunate. Randolph's got damage. Brock's in the pits. There doesn't seem to be any real big incidents. It's just a bunch of small ones, as Tim Randolph would be battling with the 77, and they would connect. Randolph would be sent off in the grass. Petrov would be able to save the car from going into the wall, but he would drop all the way to the rear of the field. Bad luck for him. While Durrell would be battling with Brock, they'll be coming through the kink, and Durrell would just clip the back of the 01 and send him and himself around. As Brock would be out of the race, Durrell would be pretty much screwed. Durrell may have to answer for that. Duncan's not exactly letting her go. He's still keeping her in his sight, but Audra looks so fast. This is faster than we've seen out of Baranowska's in a long time. Bavarian Thunder Racing, they have got to be a little bit jealous of their rival Ditech, who got a win earlier this year with one of their hot prospects, Myrad Ryback. And now it looks like they're trying to go for theirs. Baranowski's leads this race. It's weird because Baranowski's not really a prospect per se. She's been around for a long time. She was originally slated as the successor to William Brock, but just a few bad races and some incidents that she got in pretty much ended those hopes. She's been trying on her own ever since, and she's improved a lot. I'll say that since her days back in the 9 car with Scott Ganassi. She's matured a lot. She's improved a lot since those days, despite the fact that back then she won a Royale, but she's definitely been a lot more consistent this year than she has in previous years, and this could be her day to get her first career win. She would be the 3rd ever female winner in Elite Series history, following the footsteps of Skyla Johnson and Allie Nelson. Cordell Paulson down the inside. For 3rd, he'll have the outside here. If you can hold it on the outside in the hairpin, you've got it. Not an easy task, but Paulson pulls it off. Down the inside, he's got it in the carousel. He'll get him. Great move out of the driver of the 83, the 2015 champion. Takes 3rd. And now Shepard will go after the 6. Oh, Baranowski's makes a mistake. She's been making that mistake a little bit much. I think she's pushing the car too much. She's pushing herself to her limits. Duncan, not really too worried about it. It's really early in the race. That's not how you do that, Bouchard. You're gonna lose that. Same with you, Scott. No way. Roush will be able to get that back. Yeah, he will. And I'm guessing so did Shepard. Yep. Oh, Scott is still looking. Scott looks really fast right now, keep in mind. He's your 2nd fastest driver of the race. Only down to his teammate 2 spots down, that being Eric Monaco. Maverick's looking quick today. They're looking really quick. As they're your 1st, 2nd, and 5th fastest. Jackson is only your 20th fastest. So Jackson's not looking too hot right now. Fastest driver right now is Cordell Paulson at a 1:30.077. Shanish was your 2nd fastest last round at a 1:30.078. Only 1,000th of a second off each other. They're looking really fast, but I'm watching the 83 because he is right there as we come down the front straight. Will we see a challenge the same way you got Bouchard? No. He'll stick behind, maybe the same way Baranowski's got Duncan. Right here. Into. He'll look. He's peeking. Roush is around behind. That was Scott Roush into the grass. Paulson will keep it civil between these two as Roush trying to get himself back on track. They battle for 2nd. Very civil, very neat, and I believe Paulson is going to get the 2nd position. Duncan just not quite fast enough. Phillip, Scott, and Scott Roush will be battling. Maybe a little too aggressive out of Scott there. Yep. Scott got a little too aggressive. He's really fast, but he would dump Scott Roush out into the infield. Luckily, no damage on the 38, but nonetheless, it still pretty much ruined his race. Stewards are not going to be happy with Scott after that. Not what Roush wanted. Not what he needed. Bad luck for Scott Roush. Eric battles with Shane. They are close. Oh, but no, Eric's being very respectful with him right now. Good job, Eric. See that? See, Scott? That's how you do that. That was very respectful of Eric. Gave him the space. Did not crowd him. Did not squeeze him. Good battle between Eric and Paulson here. Or Eric and Shane here. And yeah, Shane's giving him the space back, despite how aggressive Shane normally is. He's actually being very nice to Eric right now. This is just a very respectful battle. I'm very happy with this. Scott will get the spot on Bouchard. And a nice pass out of Eric Monaco. No aggression, no touching. Just a nice, fun battle. Back up. These top four are actually very close to each other. Pit stop expected around lap 16. On the halfway point. They actually have about 20 laps of fuel in the car, I believe. But your tires are not going to let you going that far. Everything's seeming to calm down now. I say that, but someone just went off the track. Is that the 3? It might have been the 3. I cannot get a view on them. Yeah, that's the 3. 3 and the 15 are off the track. Trying to get back on. Okay, damage for both of them, but again, we don't seem to be getting any big incidents. It's just these little dinky little things. Duncan does not look that fast in this first run, but he's fast enough to hold on until the next set of tires get put on the car. We got about 5 laps until that time comes. Sorry if you're hearing eating sounds. I have them. Any surprises up in the top 20? Not really. Oh, no, never mind. There's Ryan Griffin. Up in 13th. He started down in 20th, so this is very impressive out of the 25. Good job. I'm very good for you, man. Good for you. Bouchard now getting passed up by Eric Monaco. Good job, Monaco. Another good, clean pass, and he'll get a spot. Eric's now looking fast. But we've seemed to have separated your top 4 into like a 2-2. It's Baranowski's Paulson, and then it's Duncan Shepard. All right, I think your fastest. Yeah, that's undoubtedly Phillip Scott. But he dumped Roush, so it's completely irrelevant. Scott is completely irrelevant right now. With a penalty incoming to him, I think your top 4 are the guys to beat right now. Monaco could have a chance to get in this. The fact that he had to complete a pass and still pulled times that's rivaling your leaders is concerning, to say the least. In short, Maverick fast. Except Jackson, who is now your 25th fastest. Jackson is pretty slow. This is not expected out of Jackson. Jackson's usually much quicker than this, but he is just, I don't know, man. He's sluggish today. Oh, God. And yeah, that's Scott catching the back of Shepard. That's not good. Please don't dump anyone else. You are, like, seriously, Honda already has a bad relationship with Ford, and you just made it worse. You just made it much worse. Scott is already, like, confirmed out of a ride next year. It's just because the 80 is being renumbered to the 98 next year. They're going to be bringing on Menards. And there's been rumors about which driver's going in that car. There's been rumors of Connor Monaco, but there's also been rumors of a possibility of Tristan Wohlheit's been a really weird one that's been called. Lots of names could go into that 98 next year, but it's almost certain that Scott will not be in the car next year as Paulson, wrong place. He's going to try to go on the outside of the 54, but that's a challenge for the lead. Not quite. Back to what I was saying. Yeah. Scott's out of a ride next year. We're all looking at Maverick to see what they'll do with that. The other 3, Jackson, Paulson, Monaco, already confirmed to be returning to the team next year. Jackson with a new sponsor in the form of NTT Data. We're just going to have to see what's going to happen with this seat next year, as we now have a 5-car battle up at the front of the field. Monaco could join this, make it 6. But again, Scott does not matter in this scenario because of his incident with Roush. He is just here to play spoiler. As the fastest in the top 5 is, yeah, that's just Phillip Scott. He's too fast. And then we look at Jackson at a 130.7. That is horrific. That's 4/10 slower than the car ahead, 2/10 slower than the car behind. There is no one in the top 20. No, Schaefer is the only person in the top 20 slower than him. That's ridiculous. Jackson is the second slowest car right now in the top 20. Oh, Connor's back out on track. Disrupts Eric a little bit, but he really had no other choice. He was coming back out on track due to damage repairs and... Oh, jeez. There is Shepard trying to fend off the 34. This is not good for Shepard. Oh, Scott, what is with you today? This is so uncharacteristic. He dumps Roush, and now he's trying to punch Shepard. I mean, he's a man on a mission, but at the same time, this is ridiculous. Slow down. You're gonna kill someone. Roush has caught the back of the field. That's crazy impressive. Scott Roush has caught back up. And now it's his job to get through the field. Are we going to see any undercutters? Is the real question. Is anyone going to try it? Yep! Erickson! And that was a really good call, Jackson. That was a really... You have a terrible car right now. You needed to get that thing back into tip-top condition. Anderson is in. That's the 86 of Bartlett. The 88 of Curtis. I think that was Fuller as well. No, that's Ard, not Fuller. I saw Aller as well. Where's Fuller? 13th. Very good job out of Morgan Fuller today. She's doing very well. Proud of her. And, yep, Shepard went off. And Scott's now into 4th. So, we got the undercutters. Eric is one of them, which is kind of scary. Because he could try to take the lead here. The order could see a big shakeup. Again, yeah, those people pit on that 14. They have plenty of tires and plenty of fuel to make it. It's just, this is probably the best strategical move. So, as we head up the hill, back down, back into the hairpin, here we go. Duncan really put down the hammer on that in-lap because you could see he's right there. I'm guessing this is his in-lap. Yeah, it is! He's gonna undercut! Oh boy, here we go. Shepard's in as well. Shane is in as well. Rahal, Binyako, Griffin, everyone back here. Everyone back here is in. Your leaders are still out there. But everyone out of like the top 10 is back in the pits. So now there's Eric Monaco. We're gonna watch. Go on board with the driver of the 87. We're gonna look down the left side for the 4 of William Duncan. The pole sitter. He's already out. He's already out. So is Shepard. But the outlap is important here. Monaco's got warm tires. But they do beat him out. Monaco's got warm tires now. Duncan, you need to put down the gauntlet here on this outlap. That was not the way to do it. No, but Shepard made a worse mistake, so could be worse. Could Duncan get a second road course win on the year? That would be incredible. We see him there. Then we look for Audra. Here they come. The rest of the field is in. This has got to be the rest of the field. No one stays out, right? You won't go to lap 17. No way. Randolph's on his own thing. So that's it. Your top few were the only people. Your top 4 were the only people left. Ray is in the pits with damage. And big damage at that. Probably another small spin. Again, nothing big, just small little things. And here he comes. Willie D. If I had to guess, they're going to beat him. But I think his tires should be able to bring it back. There is Paulson. There is Baranowskis. There is Scott. Paulson gonna challenge out of the pits. No, there's Duncan. He speeds down the front straight. Paulson for the lead. Duncan's there. Oh, we got a big fight for the lead. Duncan's got warm tires. They don't. This could be big for Willie D. It's a 3-way fight for the lead. Shepard's off the track. Look at Monaco. Monaco's in it now. Duncan has the tires here. He has the heat. But he may only have one chance here to get a spot. Paulson is all over Baranowskis. What is she gonna do? How hard is she gonna defend this? Duncan is there. Any mistake out of either of them and he's there. But Paulson is hounding the back of the 54. I didn't think we'd get to see Bavarian versus Maverick. Mistake out of Paulson. Oh, that's a mistake. Out of Cordell Paulson. The cold tires. That's the cold tires right there. But Duncan couldn't retaliate. And out of the pits, it is Audra who will retain the lead. I didn't think she would. I thought Duncan had something there. But that was a great battle out of the pits. What happened to Roger Ray? So Ray would be coming out of his pit stall. And he would get hit by Windhelm there. And would get sent out into the fence. Windhelm, maybe a little bit of an unsafe pit release there, and that's going to cost Roger Ray his race. Bad luck for Ray. But we head back to the front. Let's see where Roush ended up. 31st. With a few people. You got some people in the pit, but not a lot of them. He's working his way through. Very impressive speed out of him. And here we go for the lead. Cordell Paulson down the inside. This is how Paulson got Duncan. He'll push it around the outside. Can he hold? Yeah, there it is. This is it. Cordell Paulson, the points leader and the 2015 champion, down the inside of Baranowskis for the lead. Baranowskis will get credit for leading the most laps, but a new leader is now out front. It is Cordell Paulson, that Ineos number 83 Honda Accord. The car that won the title last year. Baranowskis peaks a little there. Not enough. The car that won the title last year under a different driver, maybe looking to do it again. This time, it would be Paulson going for his second championship. It's a big thing to be thinking about. Cordell Paulson winning 2 titles. Come down. Eric is closing on these guys, I think. Oh, I think Shepard got a bad adjustment. He is slow. What about Jackson, who was slow? Oh, he's slow too. He didn't get his problems fixed. Maybe that was just a bad lap. You never know. He might be starting a good one here. Oh, Binyako off the track. Ryback off the track. Griffin up in 13th. Very impressive out of him. And Spinella. Are they going to go into a wall, or are they going to save this? I think they're going to save this. That's Angel and Hurley. Again, it's just these small incidents. It's nothing big. It's not chaotic. It's just Is Binala. It's Binala. That's all it is. How many people are even getting really that damaged? It's just small spins everywhere. It's not even really everywhere, but... Oh, Baranowska's. Their speed's gone. Everyone else was able to get adjustments to make themselves faster. And I think Baranowska's is now the one falling behind. It was a really good first half for her. Really showing the pace that she has started to mature over these years. And now, Willie D down the inside for a second, wanting the spot back. Will she give it back to him? Or will she fight for it? She's going to fight for it. Side by side, I think Baranowska's will get it back. I think Scott's going to fight here. I think he's getting a little overzealous, though. Yeah, he is. He pushed it too far into that corner. Uh-oh. You don't want Shepard behind you after you dumped another Ford. If he dumps you, you have it coming, Scott. I'm just saying, if he dumps you, you've got it coming. And now, Duncan back on the hunt after Baranowska's. I think now the goal is catch Cordell Paulson and beat Cordell Paulson, but I'm not sure about that. Is there any possible lappers that could play a factor in this? Like if I'm looking up ahead, I know it's not slow enough. Fast driver of the race is Race Takayama, Baranowska's teammate. And then it's Tyler Thaber, Shepard's teammate. And then it's Petrov, Duncan's teammate. And then it's just Eric. It is just Eric. Eric's up here. He's actually here. Oh, mistake out of Baranowska's. That's it. There it is. Duncan will get a good run here. Launch it around the outside. This should be easy. This should be easy. Out of Willie D. Oh, maybe a little wide, but can he hold? Yep, there it is. And Willie D will get the spot back. After all that time that Baranowska's got that lead and held the lead for so long, it looks like here and now, Willie D will get the spot back. She's fighting for it. She ain't giving up. Up the hill. They're still side by side. Duncan's just going to hook it on the outside. Oh, she's still trying. She really wants this. But she won't get it. Willie D gets second. And now your 1 and 2 in points are 1 and 2 in the race. But it's a much steeper climb to catch up to Paulson. Paulson is so fast. Griffin up in 13th. This is an amazing day. Griffin is out of owner's points right now. He needs to get back in. Fallout moving down to lights next year. Griffin, I believe Griffin's got a ride in lights next year, if I'm correct. Griffin will be signing with, what was it, FRT? Might be FRT. Might be Monaco Dynasty. I'm not sure. But I know he's got a ride with Honda down in lights next year. It's unfortunate for Griffin. It's been up and down for him up in elites, but maybe year down in lights is what he needs. But he wants to come out here and prove his worth, at least while the time lasts up in elites. Because he's up to 13th, close to Ryback for 12. Oh, Jackson! Yeah, Jackson's losing his spot. That's what he's doing. Jackson is losing a spot to Benyako. Man. God, Paulson's so fast. They must have done something to that car, man. Because he was fast in the first run, but he wasn't this fast. He's 3/10 a lap faster than Duncan. This is ridiculous. Duncan's pushing the car. Here comes Scott to try to get on the podium. Doesn't matter. Scott's off the podium anyway, so... Whoops. I mean, he'll be on the unofficial results, but... Post-race where we'll see everything. Baranowska's... Oh, giving him a bumper. You know that no one's really happy with him. After what happened in Carmen and then what's happening here, this season's been so uncharacteristic out of Scott. It seems like he's desperate, is what it is. I think he's just desperate to try to keep his ride that he's pushing too hard, and that's costing him everything. Audra now down to 4th, but probably going to finish on the podium nonetheless, unless Shepard can take the spot. Shepard takes the spot. That will be an official one. Shoutouts to Shane, who has caught up to the back of this train, up at the front. He's actually put in the work to speed up and catch up to these guys, so good job for you, man. Shane, like I said before, he's been in a slump lately. So a day like this is exactly what he needed. Paulson back in the 129s. Duncan's nowhere close. Yeah, this is a day that Vincent needed to get his shit together. Get back on track to get into the top 10 points. Start moving again, and this is exactly what he needed. He's up in 7th now. He could possibly get 6th because he is also in the 129s. In fact, he's the fastest driver on track right now. Shane is really fast. Shane is faster than Paulson. So this is what we expected out of Shane this year. This is the speed we wanted to see. He is so fast right now. And now he's hounding the back of the 87. Could see an overtake before the end of this race on the 87, so that's good for him. I'm pretty sure a podium's out of his sight because he'd have to pass Baranowska's. He'd have to pass Monaco, Shepard, and then Baranowska's in 5 laps, which at this track is not easy. As Vincent hounds the back of the 87. This pass, though, I could definitely see happen before the race is over. Because he is all over him. Here we go. It'll be 4 to go this time for Cordell Paulson. And this will be a landmark for him. Cordell Paulson is looking to get his 3rd win on the year. Already incredible. I believe this would be win number 8. Win number 8 would tie. Who would this tie? This would tie Alexander Rowe and Scott Roush for 3rd on the all-times win list. What an incredible feat that's going to be if he can pull this off. If he can just make it for 3.5 more laps. That's all he needs. And it will be career win number 8 for the driver of the 83, the 2015 champion. Can you believe that this guy won his title with no wins that year? And now he's out here in 2019, leading the points, going for his 3rd win on the year. Keep in mind that if he goes a little bit further, he would join a list of people to get 4 wins on a year. It's only been done 3 times. It's been done by William Brock, it's been done by Max Anderson, and it's been done by John Arndt. They were the only 3 people in history who have ever gotten 4 wins in a year. And Paulson is looking to close it down to get 1 win away from getting into that barrier, to becoming the 4th person to get 4 wins in a year in SCS history. 3 to go for Cordell Paulson. God, he's so fast. Shane made a mistake last time around. He wants to catch back up. 6 would just be 3 more points, but 3 more points towards his championship to get ahead of Tyler Thaber, who is currently his rival. Thaber's down in 22nd. That would be a huge point stay for him. Roush still down in 28th. Again, passing really hard out here, so like Scott, that's where he's going to end up. Oh, Baranowska's got by Scott. Look at that. Baranowska's not giving up without a fight. She wants to earn it. And boy, is she. Great job, Audra. We're proud of you. This is an amazing performance out of the 54th. Baranowska's truly is back. We head through. Scott will continue to try to fight back. This might be a battle to the end, but man, she is not going to give up. Is Vincent going to be close enough this time? I don't think so. 2 to go for Cordell Paulson. This would be win number 23 for Maverick Wolf. That's crazy. I think it's win number 20. It might be win number 24. They have a lot of wins, is what I'm saying. Still not up to that mark that Full Frontal has set. Full Frontal, I believe, at 29 right now. The winningest team in history. It's the team that Shane Vincent's on. They've been in a slump, though. But lately, these last few years have been all about Maverick. It's been Maverick after Maverick after Maverick. If they win this year, it would be their 4th Constructors title. It would be their 3rd Drivers title. And it would be a record-breaking 2nd title for Cordell Paulson. He would be the first to do it if he could pull it off. But it's only the start of the back half. We have a long ways to go before that gets decided. But this is where it all starts. This back half of the year, the start of the back half is where it's important. And especially with 40 points up for grabs at the end of the International Tour, this win is going to be so important for the driver of the 83. This is what he needs. White flag is in the air for Cordell Paulson. Trying to go for win number 8. Duncan will get a small gap on the 54. That'll be probably just enough to keep him in 2nd. The battle is on for 3rd. The battle is on for 6th. As Shane gonna make another challenge? Not the right place. Not the right place, Shane. That's probably gonna end his hopes of getting this spot. Yep, probably. But Scott, can you earn this, Baranowskas? Can you earn this 3rd? Although Scott is going to get penalized and you're going to end up 3rd anyway. She wants to earn it. Scott down the inside. I don't think that's going to work. No, Baranowska is going to have it. Paulson just out front. 5 seconds. He got through the pits. He got the lead right out of the pits. And he never looked back. He'll join a list of people. He'll become the 5th person in history to get 8 or more wins. Joining Roush, Rowe, Brock, and Anderson. A very elite group of people to have this many wins to their name. And he is now one of them. Out of the last corner, Cordell Paulson will take his 8th career win. He wins in Australia. Duncan will get 2nd and Baranowskas will earn 3rd. What a run from the 54. They have got to be proud of her. Scott will most likely be downgraded down the grid, which means it'll probably be Shepard in 4th, Monaco 5th, Vincent 6th, Bouchard 7th, Rahal 8th, Benyako 9th, and Jackson, despite being so slow today, will still bring home a top 10. But this is win number 8 for Cordell Paulson. He'll join a very elite group. And his hunt for his 2nd title continues. His 3rd win on the year. One more and he'll join the group of 4 wins in 1 year. And he'll become the 3rd person to get 9 wins if he can get that one more win. Paulson has been absolutely on fire this year, but his biggest problem is that his biggest points contender finished right behind him. This battle looks like it's going to be these two, and I'm excited for it. Congratulations to Cordell Paulson. Let's go look at your finishing results. And so it's Cordell Paulson taking the win here. Your 2015 champion continuing his hunt for his second title. Duncan second, Baranowski's third, disregard Scott. But he might be fourth, you never know. Shepard fifth, Monaco sixth, Shane seventh, Bouchard eighth, ninth is Ray Hall, and 10th is Alex Benyako. Jackson could also grab 10th depending on the penalty for Scott. Getting down, a few people got disqualified. Yeah. People cutting the track. Due to their incidents, it was unsafe re-entry of the track. Things happen. It's out of character. This track's a little weird with that. We don't really understand it really, but that's for another day. Nonetheless, their races were practically completely ruined anyway by their incidents, so it doesn't matter as much as you would think. But congratulations, Cordell Paulson. Good win for him out today. Good job at Orion Griffin. He'll most likely end up in 12th, which is a great finish for him. Maybe owner's points? I doubt it. I doubt he's going for owner's points here, but we'll see. But next time, we're heading overseas. We are leaving Asia, and we're heading off to South America. I believe next time is the round of Argentina, which is Autodromo Nahuel Huapi. One of the fan favorite tracks on the schedule, and it's probably one of my personal favorites as well. It's just such a fun track. We had a great race last year between Ray Hall, Brock, and Roush, and we're going to see if we can get another one of those this year. That's a track that's just always been real good to us, real nice, and giving us good racing. So, congratulations, Cordell Paulson, taking the win. We will see you all next time as we head to South America. We get closer and closer to returning to America, the Royale, and the end of the championship, but it all starts in Argentina next time. Ciao.